Never thirsty. Never thirsty.
I want to mention two names to you and get your opinion here, and sort of like on the evolution of hip hop, and then we'll take it into some of the work that you've done over the years. The first thing I want to ask is, MTV comes along, and they are playing the message, and they're playing a few videos and
They
whatnot.
didn't play the message.
Well, I saw it on there maybe years later, but maybe not when they first started. But I definitely saw it.
The only place
Maybe
you
doing
could
Yo
see
MTV
videos,
Raps.
and it certainly wasn't national, was in New York, was Ralph McDaniel, DJ Ralph McDaniel's Video Music Box.
Yeah.
Like, that was like
Video Music
my
Box.
fucking life,
Well, I was going to ask you, like, how important was Run-DMC Walk This Way to sort of put shining a light on
look, it's obvious. It was this. It brought it to radio, to mainstream, to MTV, to white America, right? But Run-DMC, like, they were, they were just so against the grain of so much other stuff at the time, which was just like, I think it was getting stale because it wasn't creative, and their sound was mean, their look,
Yeah, they had it all. It was like the full
like
the DJ,
they took what they saw from the guys, the drug dealers and the street cats in Jamaica, Queens, and sort of adapted that into their their MO, and it so they didn't look like, they weren't wearing these crazy jumpsuits, and just there was not a they and I always felt like they were like grown ass men, even though maybe they weren't.
Yeah,
but it
totally.
they looked the
I
part.
feel like that way when I watch sports. When I watch sports now, I'm like, I'm older than those guys. It's like
yeah, like it's the same thing with the NBA. Like those cats, when we were coming up in the 80s or whatever, like they were coming out of college looking like grizzled old men. Like the only guy who's like that now is James Harden.
Now, what about style-wise? Hip hop had a certain, at least the popular stuff that I'm aware of, had this certain sort of style about it, the delivery, and then Rakim comes out. How important is Rakim to you? Is he underappreciated? You never hear him.
I don't think so.
He's not listed in the modern kids' top fives because
but
they just know.
You're
how important is he to you, to your sort of journey?
I mean, it just was. That was just a summer. That was like 10th grade high school summer. That every like it was just both of the records, the A and the B side, were it was like a seismic tsunami, like because it wasn't the yes y'all, throw your hands in the air, 1 2, yeah, wait, it's Brooklyn in the house. None of it was like it just was. It was just deep, and it took me years to really like start to connect the dots and look at what he's saying, and be like, God damn, like, I don't expect young, they're gonna put little this or whatever, and I'm gonna sound like a bitter later, so I don't want to go there, but I guess what the kids have now that we never had is just like this vast, like free public library to just go and dig and start to check stuff out. Because I have kids. I would try to be like, when my son would be listening to something, I'd be like, no, you got to check this out, and this is KRS-One right here, listen to this,
Right.
And he's like,
but
that's that's common. That's
it seems like KRS-One, obviously he's the one of the goats for sure. And
Oh yeah,
you know,
no question, no
it's like
question.
on every level, he's one of the goats. You can't even question it. But you know, he's sort of a guy that like has a little bit of that old vibe. Plus, he managed to bring that new vibe and sort of mesh it together. You know, because he
Oh
still
yeah,
has like a yes, yes, y'all type stuff happening that
not at
Rakim
all,
wasn't
not at all.
doing.
That was part of like this, you know,
Transition,
when you had BDP, you had EPMD, you had Public Enemy, you had Big
right?
Daddy. You know, it's just like a flood of records and artists that just, you know,
Just
those summers of 87, 88 were just,
yeah,
you know,
The best rap summers ever.
I mean,
yeah.
like, I remember literally, you know, buying in one day. You know, I had my little temp job, you know, for the summer working in some office, and it was downtown, like by City Hall, and there was this. It was a pretty legendary like audio uh, store, but they sold records too. J&R Music World, and they had a pretty good like vinyl and you know section or whatever, and uh, you know I was working downtown by Wall Street. So like I remember in one day getting my paycheck and going right to J&R, and it was like EPMD, Kane, Jungle Brothers. I'm probably missing one, but I'm buying those all in one day.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like if you look back at like the history of sort of revolutionary music eras, I mean, you think of like the British invasion of the Beatles and the Stones, like 60 to 69 kind of vibe. Hip hop, like 87, 88 to 94, 95 is like,
That was it.
it's like what a pocket of, it's like all the innovation, everything sort of people finding their own voices. You had conscious guys like Tribe Called Quest were popping. You have gangster rap on the radio with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. You have, you know, commercial success with Naughty by Nature, MC Hammer. I mean, rap was everywhere, and it still is. I mean, rock and roll, it might be dead. I mean, I hate to say it, but it could be dead. Hip hop sells something that nobody else can sell, and that's cool because you rap is cool, hip hop is cool. Everyone wants to be cool and be a part of something that's cool. And I think like if you looked at what was going on in the 80s with hair metal and heavy metal and stuff like that, that was not cool.
No, it was not cool at all, my dude.
And hip
But like,
hop
hip
cool
hop,
even
hip
today.
hop more like, I think it had like lifestyle aspects.
Yeah, for sure. There's a fashion to it. There's
Right.
everything. You
Right.
know, that's what I mean by cool.
Sort
I
of,
don't mean
it
like,
sort of
oh, that guy's
started.
cool.
It,
I mean, it's just like you
it,
want to be a part of it.
It's fostered the streetwear revolution. It fostered sneaker culture.
Everything.
You know,
I mean, look at society in 2021. The top 15 songs on the chart are all hip hop songs.
Oh yeah, no, but it's like, you know, it's globally, you know, by far just the dominant genre, right?
Sure.
And to the point now where like, you know, I remember listening to hip hop from other countries and being like, oh my God, this is awful. You know, because they were trying to figure it out. You know,
but now it's getting a little better.
There's a process. But now you see, you know, British. They may not call it rap. They call, you know. I'm just like, all right, whatever. But they're better. They're better. It's way more listenable.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
and there's dudes that sell records. And
how about the fact that though 25, 30 years, 40 years later, the number one selling hip hop artist of all time is Canadian.
Is what?
It's Canadian.
Hey, but you can rap though.
Never thirsty.